nobody want to see that. I don't feel like nobody. Yes, a good fight. I feel like it's like dying down. Nobody really want to see it because I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna knock him out. They're gonna be like, he was telling me. They already seen it now. So I'd rather fight the tall guy that y'all think is this monster. Get him out of here. Then I'll run just like the whole division. Bring him on. And then 160. 160 for sure.
Jaron boots, Ennis remains willing to face the toughest tests at welterweight. Discussing a possible fight against Sebastian Fundora, Ennis makes his position clear. He doesn't think Fundora's size by itself will cause problems, maintaining that superior skill is what ultimately determines who wins.
Yeah, it's still on the table, but right now we collecting bucks right now.
So so belts are the priority.
We locked in on the bucks right now, and I feel like the two guys in the bucks is a bigger fight right now. Even Fundora, I feel like Fundora is a bigger fight.
Boots Ennis has made his intentions at welterweight unmistakably clear. He remains fully committed to becoming undisputed and has no hesitation about the route he believes will get him there. He plans to handle every contender individually until there is no debate remaining. From his perspective, the division is already his to conquer. Everything else is simply a matter of completing the process.
We're gonna get them all. You know, one by one. You know, whatever is next. You know, like I said, we're going to talk to my team and figure out what's best and what's next. And like I said, I'm here to go this division though. This is my division, this boxing game mine, and I will be undisputed this week division.
When asked which bouts could create the biggest impact, he quickly pointed to a clash with Fundora. The matchup naturally draws attention because of the major difference in size, with Fundora holding a clear reach advantage while also bringing his championship into the equation. That blend of contrasting physical dimensions and meaningful title stakes creates the type of fight that can instantly spark discussion among boxing fans.
I feel like Fundora a big fight because he got a belt and he's 6'5" or 6'6" or something like that. That's something that everybody gonna want to go see that. Like they want to see how I match up against that. To be honest, everybody knew how me and Ortiz gonna go for sure. Like it's like I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I don't really gotta see too much. Like we know what you're getting out of Ortiz. Like.
So the challenge of the taller guy who happens to be a champion as well might be a little bit more enticing.
Looking at the welterweight landscape as a whole shows why Fundora presents such a difficult puzzle for everyone in the division. Max Kellerman considers Fundora's physical dimensions a major obstacle, especially when that reach is combined with his constant activity and pressure. The argument was also made that Boots would face the same challenge, regardless of how impressive his own accomplishments and record may be.
The problem.
Fundora.
Because of his size and his reach.
Because his size, his reach, and how he's using it now.
Yes.
You're looking at a...
I give him, this is what I'm on guard against. I give Fundora credit. I absolutely agree. He's gotten better.
Yes.
And because of his size and reach and his volume punching, he can be a problem. I'd like to see how Boots fares against Fundora, although I would think if Boots especially could beat Fundora. What I'm careful about is people going into the Thurman fight thought one thing of Fundora. Coming out of the Thurman fight.
Attention now shifts toward the test Ennis could face against Fundora. His unusual build provides a reach advantage that few fighters at 154 pounds are equipped to deal with. Tim Bradley acknowledges that Fundora can be caught and hurt during the early stages. But he also emphasizes how difficult the situation becomes when opponents get inside and force exchanges at close range. The real question isn't simply whether Boots can connect, but what follows once he gets his shots through.
I think Fundora is very underrated because, again, he's hittable for sure. Hittable.
Gotta get inside on him.
I think he's become overrated on the Thurman
But at
fight.
the same time, when you get inside, he's better inside than he is outside, in my opinion. He'll chop you up with those uppercuts, and he's tough. The things that I like in this division, 154, is that you have Boots. You see his determination. Did you see it the other night? You saw his determination and will? Virgil Ortiz, what does he have? That determination and that will?
And Virgil's a little twitchy, too, for a guy with power.
And
aggression.
And
he got a lot of heart.
Fundora, the same thing, man. I feel like 54.
The discussion then moves toward the division's hierarchy. Bradley and Berto offer their separate views on where Boots belongs, compared with Fundora and the other contenders surrounding the weight class. Neither analyst holds back when evaluating the names involved. As they map out the potential matchups, the significance of a victory over Fundora becomes much clearer. especially when considering what such a result could mean for the biggest fights ahead.
Put them in order. Put them in order. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I'm going Boots number 1, Fundora number 2, and then Virgil.
Okay.
Then Virgil. That's
I think that's
skill.
probably the consensus.
But that's off skill. But I think Virgil has the best resume.
We're going to reveal. We are going to reveal the 154 resume a little bit resume list later on in the show. The new Ring Magazine rankings later on in the show. 1, 2, 3.
I'm doing this off of resume, not off who I think is the best pound for pound or whatever. Boots number 1, Fundora 2.
Eddie Hearn shifts the focus toward the quality that distinguishes top-level fighters from everyone else, making adjustments while the action is unfolding. He highlights Boots' ability to read situation ring as especially important against a fighter like Fundora, whose unusual height and awkward angles have created problems for many opponents. While some fighters have struggled to solve puzzle during the fight, Hearn believes Ennis has the instincts necessary to make changes as the action develops. Hound?
Yeah, of course, because he's so unique, isn't he?
Yeah.
What is he, 6'6"?
He's taller than Joshua, I think. Or maybe the same height.
He's a 154-pounder. But you've got to be good enough to adapt to everything. Like, and that's the problem. A lot of these guys, no disrespect to Keith Thurman, he's been done for a while. Yeah. But Tim Tszyu, these kind of guys, they're all great fighters, but they just can't adapt to styles. Josh has got an unbelievable IQ. Boots has probably got the best IQ in the game, I think. They can adapt in those kind of fights, and that's what you need to do, because Fundora's a massive problem. Yeah. Because how do you prepare for it? I mean, until you get in there, start getting hit by these fucking arms.
Hearn takes the comparison even further by separating Ennis from fighters who rely on intelligence, primarily to avoid danger, limit exchanges, and control the risk. In his view, Boots approaches boxing differently, choosing to engage rather than simply protect himself. Hearn even rates that willingness to trade punches higher than what he associates with Terrence Crawford's pound-for-pound reputation. For him, that readiness to engage in a real battle is what makes Ennis so compelling to watch.
Styles do not entertain or overly entertaining. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, when you talk about IQ in the sport, tell me the top 5 guys who've got that kind of IQ. Shakur, Devin Haney, Tank maybe, but Tank's exciting, but whoever he fights against is another story, right? So those kind of guys.
But I mean,
but what did you get what I'm saying?
I do.
But Boots will sit in the pocket, he will fight you, he will attack you, he can box off the back foot, but he actually likes to come and fight.
And Crawford the same way, I would say.
Yeah, I think a little bit, but I still think Boots is more aggressive than Crawford.
Danny Garcia acknowledges that the size difference is a serious issue, admitting that facing a 6'6" southpaw creates an extremely difficult matchup for almost anyone in the division. Still, he argues that having exceptional reach doesn't automatically make Fundora impossible to hit, noting that Fundora has repeatedly been caught with clean punches. For Garcia, those moments demonstrate that the vulnerabilities are genuine and can appear again.
Undisputed at 154. What do you think about him and Sebastian Fundora?
I think that's a great fight. I think that's an amazing fight. Boots definitely got the better skills. Faster, hits hard, more athletic. But Fundora is just 6'7", so I think that's the problem. He gives anybody a hard fight just because of his height and he's southpaw. But I think he's there to be hit. Looming put him down. That was the Mexican guy that stopped him.
Brian Mendoza.
Yeah, Brian Mendoza stopped him. So he's showing like vulnerability.
Garcia then explains the approach he believes could neutralize Fundora. Ennis would need to close the gap behind a disciplined defense and stay active instead of remaining at the far end of Fundora's range, where the taller fighter can do the most damage. Garcia believes Boots has the tools needed to execute that strategy and is confident enough in the matchup to predict that Ennis could score a knockout.
But I think it's a great fight. But I think Boots may knock him out too, if you ask me.
How do you fight a guy like that, Danny?
You just gotta get close. Get close, stay tight, move your head. And don't let him keep you on the end of his punches. And just try to touch that chin.
So getting close, do you gotta take a shot to get a shot?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be one of those fights, like a grueling fight type fight, where it's like, cause he's the type of fighter, he makes you fight. Everyone he's fought, he made them fight, made them dig deep. So, but I think just Boots is just a different kind of talent.
Richardson Hitchins acknowledges Fundora's strengths, using the Thurman bout as evidence that the tall southpaw understands how to turn his unusual dimensions into a real advantage instead of simply relying on them. However, Hitchins makes an important distinction between recognizing that weapon and accepting all the hype surrounding it. In his assessment, the attention around Fundora doesn't erase the natural speed and explosiveness that Boots brings into the matchup.
Sebastian Fundora showed me against Thurman. I know people gonna say Thurman was old, blah, blah, blah. Thurman is still a threat. He's learning how to use that 6'6" size. Like Thurman was swinging for the fences, he couldn't touch him. How hard would that fight be for Boots, if any? Maybe you don't think so.
The only thing he got is that height. Boots is... ain't too many people standing against what Boots is sending. Boots got some guns with him.
Some heat, he got some heat.
Speed and power.
So Virgil is a harder fight than Fundora for Boots, in your opinion?
Probably because they both...
Addressing Fundora's physical advantages head-on, Bradley explains why the matchup creates problems throughout the division. His reach is certainly a major factor, but it becomes even more dangerous when combined with consistent punch volume and legitimate power. Bradley's point is that an opponent must first survive a continuous stream of punches before even getting close enough to work from inside.
Could give Boots a run from his money. He could. And I only say that because of his attributes. Not because of his boxing skills. It's because of his attributes. That's why. This guy has, and it's Sebastian Fundora. You guys know who he is. He's a southpaw too, right? He has range. He has volume. He has punching power as well. Okay? He knows how to keep his distance. He's difficult. I know he's been knocked out before. I know that.
Bradley then offers the other side of the argument, explaining why Ennis may be especially difficult for Fundora's approach to handle. He highlights Boots' ability to evade punches, the rapid pace of his combinations, and the variety in his skill set. Those qualities could allow Ennis to create openings and respond with offense instead of simply standing there and taking Fundora's pressure.
I was studying the film the other day, and Boots has the style that I believe that can give him fits because of his elusiveness. And Boots is quick on the trigger. He's not as long as this guy, but he's not, he got about 74. This other, Fundora has about 80-inch reach. But he has a quick first step. He throws combinations. He is a risk taker. He's a hell of a body puncher. He has a large toolbox.
Bradley ultimately shifts the conversation toward the business involved. He believes both teams could have an interest in making the matchup eventually, but that doesn't necessarily mean either camp is eager to make it happen immediately. Fundora's side, especially, might consider other opportunities more worthwhile at this stage, despite the strong demand from fans who want to see both fighters meet inside the ring.
Fundora, hiding and ducking and, the towering inferno. And I got nothing but love and respect for him because that man is from around my way. He's from around my way. He from the valley. I got nothing but respect for Fundora, okay? But I think what it is that they see the danger in fighting him right now. He's hot right now. Let him cool down a little bit. Let him cool down a bit. Let's take this easy money over here.
Sean Zittel starts by raising a broader issue surrounding Fundora's career. Solving a strategy designed specifically around him is one challenge, but proving himself against two of the weight class's toughest opponents would be a completely different test. The panel considers whether Fundora can overcome both Boots and Ortiz, or if either fighter ultimately becomes the obstacle he cannot get beyond.
Really is the best 154-pounder. Maybe he really does beat Virgil Ortiz and even Jaron Ennis. And I think heading into this fight, he was a respected champion, a formidable champion. But I think most people, the reason why they were saying Ennis and Ortiz is the best fight in the 154-pound division is despite neither of them having a major world title, that people thought they were the two most elite fighters in the division. And I had Fundora pegged third behind them. Now it's like, those are 50-50 type.
The conversation then turns to what Fundora would face against truly elite competition, something his previous resume has not fully tested. His performance against Thurman is used as an important comparison, but the overall view is that neither Boots nor Ortiz would allow the same defensive mistakes to go unpunished. Both fighters apply pressure and possess the finishing ability to capitalize immediately on hesitation, something Thurman did not consistently do.
Safe, so you're right. I mean, Ennis, Ortiz, Zayas, those guys are going to test his defensive responsibility a lot more. But even from last July against Zoo, I saw him being a little bit more defensively responsible by, you know.
But the word in the sentence that's operative is force. If you're being defensively responsible on your own terms, well, that's a version of training. That means that everything is working. If your defense essentially is your offense, then your offense has to be.
Bredman then highlights the technical development Fundora has made over time. He believes Fundora has become much better at controlling distance, using his unusually long reach to land shots while remaining beyond the opponent's immediate counterattack. Instead of describing his power as coming from one devastating punch, Bredman sees it more as sustained physical strength and resilience that gradually take a toll through consistent offense.
Both great matchups. I think that they both present problems for Boots, but different types of problems. I think Fundora has not gotten so much better in terms of his reflexes and seeing punches and things like that, but he's gotten better with his distance. He's really learned how to put a jab on you and keep you at a kind of distance where he can hit you and you can't hit him. He seems to have that ligament strength where he doesn't look strong, but he is strong.
Bredman sees the potential matchup developing into the type of brutal exchange associated with boxing's classic close-range battles. He believes targeting Fundora's head from distance would be a poor strategy against someone with his dimensions. Instead, Boots would be better served attacking the body, particularly the ribs, while using that offense to gradually close the distance rather than staying outside and hunting for headshots.
I think that Boots and Fundora is an absolute Hagler-Hearns type of shootout. I think Boots is mean as a rattlesnake, and he's gonna have to step to Fundora. I don't know if his jab, especially to the head, will be that effective against a guy that's 6'6". So you have to jab him to his body a lot and kind of step to him. And I think he's with that. That's the kind of fighter he is. I think that that will be an early round shootout. I think that will be the kind of fight that will end within 4 rounds. But it would be a great.
Bredman gives a straightforward prediction for how he expects the contest to unfold. He anticipates a demanding, high-pressure fight in which both fighters will look for an early stoppage. Even so, he favors Boots to force a knockout, believing Ennis's creativity and variety on offense could ultimately make the difference. At the same time, he cautions that Boots cannot become complacent once the action settles into exchanges at mid-range.
Because
Boots is 5'10" and Fundora is 6'6". It's going to be hard to just hit him in the head with jabs all night. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he won't be able to, but he's going to have to jab a different part of his body. I think he's going to have to attack him, and Fundora obliges that. Fundora works on the inside. He's trying to hurt you too. So I just think it's just a brutal fight, a brutal Hagler-Hearns type of fight, and I think Ortiz and Boots is just an absolute war also. I think it's a war. I think it's just going to be just two mean combination punching in their 20s.
Greg Hackett approaches the matchup from another angle, comparing the physical difference to a hunt between a quicker predator and a much larger target that cannot consistently maintain distance. His view is that once Ennis manages to get inside, Fundora's extraordinary reach could become more of a burden than a benefit because the taller fighter would have far less room to.
I'm trying to think of the perfect comparison.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
you ever see like when the tiger go after a giraffe and they be working him out? And even though he tall, he be trying little shit, he be doing little shit, but it's just hard to get the motherfuckers off. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like a tiger and a giraffe. One of them type of things. Once Boots get him, he can shit.
The analysis then centers on the physical dimensions of the matchup. Given the significant difference in height, Ennis would be better off attacking the body instead of trying to reach Fundora's elevated head, focusing his punches on the ribs and torso. The key issue is whether Fundora can prevent Ennis from establishing that pattern once it starts. Based on the discussion, there is considerable doubt that he can effectively stop it.
That too. Would it be wise, baby? You get what I'm saying? Or would that be a mistake to second guess your own? Because when you ever see him come out and take his time, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that I'm playing in my mind. You get what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, all right, you tall. Don't aim for the head. You got the body right there. You know what I'm saying? So Boots probably, if he's standing next to Fundora, he probably comes to like right here. So that means everything neck and below is right there. You ain't got to reach for this shit. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how Fundora would try to counter.
Ultimately, everyone reaches the same prediction. The fight ends by stoppage during the latter rounds. Their argument is based largely on each fighter's history. Ennis has never been stopped or knocked unconscious in competition, whereas Fundora has previously been put in serious danger. According to the panel, that difference in durability gives Boots the advantage when it comes to determining how the fight ultimately ends.
Boots versus Fundora, who you got?
Boots, points, stoppage, late round stoppage between 8th and 10th. I don't think he's gonna see the 12. It's gonna be too much for him.
What is it? You said who? I said, what's the deciding factor? Because everybody's looking at the length of Sebastian Fundora.
That's cool, but he just started using his length for. You know what I'm saying? The most I can give Fundora, he battle tested, he went through wars and shit. That's another thing that plays in Boots' favor. He already went through wars. And we've seen somebody who's nowhere near as technical as Boots or hit as hard as he or faster.
So, what does all of this mean? Ennis enters the matchup with high-level instincts and a clear willingness to exchange, but he would be facing a physical build unlike anything he has encountered at this stage. Across the division, opinions remain divided over whether Fundora's size will finally prove decisive, or whether Boots will once again find a way to overcome it. The only thing left is to see how that theory holds up when the fight actually happens. Leave your prediction in the comments and subscribe for the full breakdown if the matchup becomes official.